XRP holders, we are at a make or break moment. We're going to be talking about that. Do we have more selling off, or are we getting ready for some relief? Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Maxi. Hit that like button, hit that bell, subscribe to the channel. Let's hop in this video. All right, guys, we are starting off here on the XRP weekly time frame, and we are playing with some fire here. You know, seeing this level here at about $2.07. We don't want to be coming below this. We just had our weekly candle closure here. We have another 6 days and 22 hours to go to the next week. And guys, I do think that there is a chance here that we do sell off and break below the $2 price level and touch the $1.78 price level, fulfilling this head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame. I think there's a good chance that that plays out, but there's always invalidations, guys. There's always invalidations. If we were to get this head and shoulders pattern here, the breakdown probably would be about, we'll do a quick little from the top of the head to the neckline. Let's say about, yay, this is a very quick one here. And from the breakdown, we are talking about potentially $1.34. I've talked about this a couple times on the Crypto Report, but if this bearish pattern does play out, it will be a bigger drawdown. But I must say, it most likely will be an opportunity, especially if you are an XRP bull and you don't care to hold and buy for the next 5 years or so. Probably will be a fantastic buying opportunity. And obviously, like I said, there's always invalidations here. I think that there's a good chance that we don't see the breakdown, but we could potentially bounce off of this because, guys, we are in the fourth phase of this market, okay, of the 4-year cycle. The third phase of the bull market is the most volatile, the most choppy, the most trappy, okay, the most trappy price action. So you need to be expecting for a lot of confusing, whipsawy moves. So I would not be surprised to see a break below the neckline and then maybe come and test $1.76 and then whoops, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, something like that. But guys, I expect a lot of volatility here. If you are an XRP holder and you want to hedge against your spot positions, you want to open up some shorts. I am short a lot of altcoins right now, but very, very tight stop losses, especially on XRP. I'm not short on XRP. I think that if we break below $2.07, then maybe I would be inclined to do that. But guys, like I said, it's very tough right now to be a leverage trader. The best thing to be doing is really high leverage, short time frame, very tight stop losses. I'm talking like you can't open a trade and walk away. It is not that type of market right now. You have to monitor the trade and pay very, very close attention and probably close the trade before you close your computer. But guys, if you do want to take advantage of this volatility, check out in the description box below or the pinned comment down below. We have a $5,000 sign bonus to Blowfin, as well as for the next 100 people that sign up and deposit $100, you get $10 for free of XRP. So if you want to take advantage of that, it's first come, first serve. I think we've had already a bunch of people have signed up, so there's definitely still some open slots, but take advantage of it, guys. So we're sitting at rank 4, down 13.22% in the past 7 days, down 3.64% past 24 hours, at about $123 billion market cap. Guys, the market's getting spooked. The traditional market is getting spooked. This tariff talk, the tight monetary policy right now, the high rates, the quantitative tightening, the economy, the price of eggs. Oh my God, the eggs. It's tough out there. It's tough out there for retail investors. There's not a lot of money flowing around, and people are worried about risk on assets. And so we're seeing that play out right now. We're seeing the traditional market start to spill over. We're going to talk about that later in this video, and it's damaging the crypto space because the crypto space is risk on assets, my friends. Looking at Bitcoin right now, we're trading just barely below 82,000. Bitcoin dominance at 61.13, excluding stablecoins, basically 63.1%. Ethereum at 1,800, insane. Can't believe how bad ETH is underperforming in this market cycle. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. But it makes sense, you know. Hindsight's 2020, and guys, the risk on assets has not been a favorable. It's not been that favorable of a play the past few years here. I mean, the money is not as free as it was back in 2021. It's not as free. But that doesn't mean that we can't see new all-time highs. It doesn't mean that we can't see XRP make new highs in 2025. It does not mean that we won't see that happen. But I will say that we need to see some things happen before we can start thinking about that, right? Looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, it's starting to break down here. I was saying, we tested 88K. I expected that as a point of interest to break down and come and test $73,000 to $75,000. I still believe that. My eyes are about 75,000. I think that that's appropriate level because everyone's thinking we're going to hit 73K. We probably either undershoot it or overshoot it. If we overshoot it, now something else is happening completely for Bitcoin and the crypto cycle, which we'll have to talk about if we get there. But as of right now, my areas of interest are between 75,000 and 73K because we're getting these candle closures below 88K. We tested it and we rejected off of it. So now, the traditional market, boy, oh boy. I know. We're talking about XRP. Blacksy, why does it matter? This is the only thing that matters. It's the traditional market, the overarching market. This is what will affect the price of XRP and the price of risk-on assets, cryptocurrency, okay? We are touching March lows right now. As of recording this video, the Japanese market is dumping down 4% on the day because of all this tariff talk. It's spooking the market. We're sweeping March lows. If we close below March lows, this blue line at about 5,500, I think that there is a world where we come and break down and test $5,000 on the S&P 500, which I must say will be brutal. It will be brutal. People will think that we're going into a Great Depression. People are going to start saying wild, wild things. I'm going to be buying. I am going to be selling my cars. I am going to be liquidating my assets to buy, okay, if we come down to 5,000. And, it may take some time. It may take a couple weeks to get that low. Maybe we see a straight move down, but I doubt we see something. That'd be insane. We're talking about the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the world, not a $10 million meme coin, okay? Seeing a drawdown like that from 5,500 to 5,000 is a 10% drawdown, which is nothing to scoff at when you're talking about the traditional market. And measuring from the all-time high to 5,000, you are talking about nearly a 20% drawdown. You don't really see that in the traditional market. Anytime you see that, like back here when they started raising those rates, okay, back in 2022, we saw that a recessionary period, and we came down all the way to a 26% drawdown over the course of basically a year, guys, before we started to reverse out of it. Could we go into another phase of that? Yes, we could. But guys, please know, Warren Buffett, love him or hate him. In the crypto space, a lot of crypto people don't like him, but you buy when there's blood in the streets, okay? You buy when there's blood in the streets. If you're an XRP bull and the S&P 500 breaks down to 5,000, it is going to create some amazing buying opportunities. Not financial advice, but I do think that there will be some crazy, crazy opportunities if we break down this low. Now, 5,000, I don't know if they're going to let that happen, if the market makers are going to let that happen, but I think there is a possibility of that happening. And if it does happen, there's going to be massive opportunity. Looking at the total crypto market right now, we are below 3 trillion. We have tested the previous cycle high, and we're below the previous cycle high, okay? This doesn't even mean anything right now. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's all kind of in the hands of the Federal Reserve, the traditional market, really digesting this tariff talk every day. People are getting spooked out. It's going to take some time, guys. It's going to take some time. It's very, very hard to predict this market right now. I've been saying that recently. People give me a hard time about it, but, sometimes I'm pretty good at predicting the market. I pat myself on the back. I'm tuning my own horn. Sometimes I'm very good at predicting the market. But this climate is very, very difficult to predict the market because it's very news-driven. It is very, very news-driven. It's hanging on the whim of these tariffs and on the whim of Jerome Powell. You have to see how this plays out, guys, but be prepared. If you have high conviction in XRP and really any other assets at this point, and we continue this sell-off, there's going to be massive finger-licking opportunities, okay? That's all I got. If you like this type of content, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. Follow me, 333 Blacksea on Twitter and Instagram. And and I'll see you next one. Bye bye.